I'm the kangaroo.
Oh, damn.
I'm the kangaroo that's knocking over the kid. Oh, or I'm the kid.
Okay,
No,
there we
no,
go.
my
That
luck.
should
I'm
do
the
it.
kid. Oh, that's funny.
We'll see where that puts it.
Thump.
Thump.
That
Thump.
kid gets knocked down. Boom!
I know.
That's great.
It's mesmerizing. Oh, thanks, Alessandra. Oh, I think Leeta is the little boy on an Iron Man dwarf.
That is also one of the reasons why I chose that one.
That's,
Damn it.
that's
I'm gonna
good,
get this
yeah.
camera the way I want it.
Boo-doo.
See, that's how you suck at melee. That's what that is.
That's why you choose a hunter.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I made the camera worse, everybody.
Yeah, you
Look, I
did.
successfully made the camera worse.
You're about to totally
Still gone.
eat the microphone.
Yep.
See, I don't know if it's me.
It's
Because
you.
everything's gone.
It doesn't like this monitor. The
Oh,
little
okay.
grip thing doesn't like the monitor. So it's either too high or too low. There is no happy medium.
Well, can't you... I mean, we have the same camera, right?
I think so.
Get the camera controls and then manually adjust it with
Oh,
that.
jeez. Yeah. Duh. Yeah. Yeah.
Good job. Good
Says.
job.
Duh, duh, duh.
Gosh.
Seriously, John, what the hell?
I didn't. I forgot.
Can't take
Forgot
him
that there was manual camera control. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. I just gotta figure out how to use it. Alright. Enable pan and tilt controls. First adjust the zoom level. You adjust the zoom level. Don't tell me what to do.
I can't. Otherwise,
Oh,
I would.
Just zoom.
Oh, look at that. You're like
Zoom it.
perfect. Nope. Go back.
Oh!
Go back. There you go. I think that's
Yeah,
perfect.
keep
Unless you want to
that
be centered.
face the
if you
whole
want to be-
time.
If you want to be centered right over the mic, go back one. Because you're centered, but not right over the... No, other way. Two more.
Other right.
One more. There you go. That's better.
Oh.
This is the dumbest thing.
I'm so proud of you, John.
I figured out how to use my microphone.
You use technology.
I use my microphone, everybody.
Yeah.
My microphone.
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 Microphone. We're being
I don't know why.
weird
I
tonight.
don't know why we're singing. We're all really tired. It must have been a long week.
Yeah.
Been a long week, yes.
Yeah.
Svensson, John is fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Uh-oh. Leeta caused Stonegrasp to wipe.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I blame... as if I'm not doing anything.
Exactly. You need to
Stone,
encourage
pick it
more.
up. Suck it up, princess. Go kill that boss. Tell your raid team.
Wow.
No
Suck it up, princess.
Exactly.
Whoa.
You should include that in your intro.
Suck it up,
Okay.
princess. Oh,
This
hey, the
is
tweet worked.
Leeta. You're listening to Azeroth Roundtable. Suck it up, princess.
I like that.
Oh.
Oh, shoot. Am I the one that's...
Well, I can't do my Aussie one. I've already done my Aussie one. So I have to do something different.
You should do an American accent. Do an American accent.
I can't do an American accent.
Sure you can.
No, because it just sucks. I'm no good at accents. I'm flat out just doing my own.
Let's
You're
hear it. I
better
do
than
the Australian
I
one
am.
all the time.
I know. And yeah, thanks, John.
Look,
Ben
seriously.
will do an Australian accent if you do an American one.
No.
Crap. Crikey.
I can't even think.
I won't even get offended if you do the stereotypical Western one that people typically do. Have you ever noticed that when people do an American accent?
Do like the Texan?
Yeah, they typically go, "Howdy, y'all."
Okay.
That's how all Americans talk.
Well, good news is that it did tweet, but it tweeted from my account as opposed to the art account.
It did.
I mean, technically, talking like
I thought
a
you were just
Texan is
testing.
an American accent. So, to be fair, it's accurate.
Sure.
Crikey. I'm American and I love Tim Tams.
You do love Tim Tams.
It didn't
You
turn
are so
Jamaican,
right.
Ben. I don't know what to think about it.
Thank you.
Usually, all your accents go Jamaican.
Or, street urchin early English.
Yeah.
Good day, Governor.
Shiny shoes!
I'm from Jamaica.
Man!
What? Oh,
Ben's
It's the
accents.
Jamaican accent
I'm
ever.
bad.
Ben's
I'm
accents
bad.
fall apart. So he would be like,
Good day. I'm gonna throw another shrimp on the barbie.
like that's how it would go, because he would go to like old English street urchin.
So instead of throwing shrimp on the barbecue, I'm throwing them on the cob.
No, you don't get any shrimp. You're a street urchin. You just get to look at it through a window.
But I want to throw the shrimp on the barbie!
Please, sir. It'd be ever so good if you could spare a little shrimp from the barbie. What is that? Is that supposed to be British Australian?
Yes.
That was,
Supposed
that
to
was
be-
really good for kind of like Oliver, from Oliver movie. That wasn't too bad.
It's the Australian version of Oliver trying to do an English accent.
Australia. Oliver, I like it. Good day, sir. Can I have another shrimp from the barbie?
Crikey, more!
I didn't say more. It's weird, right? I didn't say more.
More.
Oh, man.
More.
More.
More?
You want more? That's like
I'm
Monty
the
Python.
Artful Dodger and a dingo ate my baby. What was that?
That's more British Australian.
John's
Oliver.
he's dropping truth. Truth. Boom. You know what, Nate? You're right. An American doing an Australian doing an English accent, that's how Celebrity Murloc Theater began, essentially.
That's true.
I'm from Soviet Russia, comrade.
Oh, nice.
Make it as crazy as you possibly can.
I'm trying to think of something that just won't end up being racist. It's not working.
What's more distracting? Inappropriate Brady Bunch eyeball from last week, or Didgeridoo You Want a Piece of Me kangaroo tonight?
Oh,
Nice.
that's hilarious.
I was gonna work on a legitimate Australian accent before we had you on again, Leeta, and I did it for a night, and I thought it was coming along really well, and then I forgot to practice it, and it's all gone. Because I was gonna surprise you. I was gonna be like, "Hey, Leeta, I'm gonna do an Australian accent," and you're gonna be like, "Oh, here it comes," and I was gonna get ready, and then I was gonna actually do something that was impressive, but it's gone.
Oh,
It's
okay. Next time. Next time. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo You Want a Piece of Me? Sounds like a Australian pop song.
It's not in. Hang on.
Wow, that's like almost as bad as you've crikey'd open my heart or something.
No. No. That was pretty good, man.
No.
No. You're the one who has bad puns. Hey, are we streaming to Alpha Geek?
Yeah, we are. Just not the video, because I don't think that works. But we're streaming to Alpha Geek! I almost totally forgot to do it, too. Then I remembered to turn on my butt.
Turn on the butt.
Turn on the butt. Turn on
Turn on the butt.
Turn on the
You
butt.
guys are even punchier than last Sunday's weird energy show. What was weird about it?
We were
The
excited.
Aussie version of I'm a Barbie girl is I'm a shrimp on the Barbie girl.
Ah.
I'm a shrimp on the Barbie girl, shrimp on the Barbie girl. Yeah. I don't know what that even was.
At least you tried it.
Yeah.
I like that you did an overly masculine voice for it, which was weird.
Well, that was the point.
Do a German doing an Aussie accent. I can't even wrap my mind around it.
Yeah,
So wait
it
a
is
minute,
time
would
to
that
put the
sound like
shrimp
a
on the
German's-
Barbie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Throw another shrimp on the Barbie.
Crikey, that is a very big shrimp on
Crikey,
that Barbie.
the dingo ate my baby. It is okay. We will get another baby. Yes, I almost made Ben spit all over his keyboard. That would have been fantastic.
Poor Ben.
Where are we gonna find the
Get another
baby?
baby.
Do we make it or just steal it from somewhere?
It is none of your business where we will get this baby.
Do we go to the baby depot?
The baby depot closed. They ran out of babies.
They all got stolen. Or stolen.
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 You didn't say it right. You are fired. For not being German Australian enough.
Oh, scheiß. Suddenly you're rushing off. That's what I do.
And then a Russian appeared. Da-da-da!
Da, comrade.
This is what the pre-show is gonna be now, is just people requesting terrible accents and us doing it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, technically we should have... Svensson wants you to swallow, Ben, and not to spit.
Svensson needs to catch up with the times.
I don't think Jules intended for making plays to appear right after that, but the fact that it does really added something to that comment.
Wow.
Making plays. Midnight.
That used to be the post show too. Yeah, we need to chat more and do stupid crap for the post show. Except we really like playing games.
Midnight. She's the Russian that showed up.
Oh yeah.
Leeta, what accents do you do? I hear you do a kick-ass Australian accent.
I do a kick-ass Australian accent. That's exactly right. Sure.
She does
Alright.
a really good kick-ass, like, stereotypical Australian accent too.
Let's hear it.
Okay, all right, here. Sitting at home last Sunday morning, me mate Boomerang said he was having a few people round for a barbie. Said he might cook a burger or two. I said, sounds great. Will Waller be there? He said, yeah, and Veggie might come too.
I love you.
I want a mate named Boomerang.
Start calling me Boomerang.
No, that's too cool for you.
Okay, Barracuda.
Oh.
You want to tell people that story, John?
No.
Okay. I'll respect that.
You can't pick your own nicknames, Ben.
I know Barracuda.
Even if people... Yeah, but I tried to pick it. I don't know why you still try to use it. You were supposed to be like, no, we're not going to call you Barracuda.
It's because you had the theme song picked out.
I just wanted that song to play when I went into a room.
Yeah, here, I can help you with that. Give me a second here.
Should be the intro to our show. You can only play 3 seconds of it, or else we get in trouble.
Oh, I thought it was more than that.
I don't know.
Like 30 seconds.
No, it's definitely shorter than that. It's 3 seconds.
Why are you looking on the iTunes store? Search library. Oh, apparently I don't have Barracuda.
Nope, nobody does. I removed the song from existence.
Dang.
Yeah, it's true, Nate. I just wanted entrance music.
Dang. Wow.
Anybody who grew up watching wrestling knows they want entrance music.
Okay, should we start the show?
I don't know, probably.
Kim, you ready to start the show? We lost
Is
her.
she gone? Is she
A
gone?
dingo got her!
Crikey, a dingo!
Cripes.
Australians don't say cripes. That's racist.
I'm not Australian. Did we miss her saying that she had to go away?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, she's back.
And I'm having a whole one-sided conversation with you guys. And I'm like, why aren't they responding? I'm pure gold here. And you guys are just talking straight over me. And I'm like, bugger. I muted myself. Okay.
So let's try this again. Kim, are you ready?
Yes. I am ready.
All right. Well, whenever you want to start us off, you know the drill.
Oh, I know the drill. I do. Okay. Here we go.
Don't get too excited about it. People will think it's too much fun to host the show. And then we'll have to just...
So fun.
We'll be turning people down all the time.
Exactly. Okay.
Here we go, I'm on the
this is
show.
Leeta from behind.
Whoa, is that... Wait, is that it?
That's
No.
too exciting.
It's too exciting. Okay, here we go. In, ready? Let's count in. 3, 2, 1. This is Leeta from Behind the Avatar, and you're listening to Azeroth Roundtable. Suck it up, princess!
That's right, John. Suck it up.
I don't have to, and you can't make me.
Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 117. My name is Ben Baumhofer, and with me, as always, is John Jagger. How's it going, John?
My mind has just been blown by that number. For whatever reason, you say the number of the episode every time. Tonight felt bigger than what it should be. We've done 117 of these?
Yeah?
Alright, I'm going.
Like leaving?
He's done.
Like next door, you're gonna go talk to that guy who's banging on the wall? Whatever. Okay, if you don't want to be here, that's fine. I'm with someone who actually does want to be here. Leeta, thank you very much for joining us this week.
Hey guys, thank you. You're most welcome. And hey, chat room.
You know, that momentary delay, I'm like, oh crap, she doesn't want to be here either. I have to do this alone.
Oh my gosh, that would be great. We should totally just suddenly leave Ben here alone. It'll be like that scene in Wayne's World where Garth has to host the show.
This is awesome. Not.
I gotta go.
Seriously, guys, don't go.
Stay.
Stay a while and listen.
What was that?
Not as good as your impersonation.
Of what?
Deckard Cain.
Oh, yeah, I've played that game.
So you played that game. What else have you done, John? What have you been doing?
I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone.
Why?
I've been playing so much Hearthstone that I'm done playing Hearthstone.
Wait, so, okay, between the time that we walked over to the gas station and walked back, did you get the thing that you were aiming for?
Yes.
Okay, so you're just done now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, so here's what happened. They added the mount in Heroes of the Storm, where you can ride on a Hearthstone card. Seems like a pretty cool thing. Seems like a thing I needed to have. I was going to get it. And to get it, you have to have 100 wins in play mode.
Mm-hmm.
I had 85 or 80 yesterday. I had 95 when I woke up this morning. I got to 99. And then I lost 7 games in a row. And I was getting very frustrated. I was inventing new words.
Ooh.
Which were made up of smaller swear words combined to form an Ultron-esque swear word that was bigger than
You
the
mean
sum of its parts. It was great.
A Voltron-esque?
Yeah, Voltron-esque.
Different.
Nerd. So, I finally got it. I also did they did the Tavern Brawl. They added that feature to the game. We talked about it a little bit last week. The mode is basically one person plays Ragnaros, the other person plays Nefarian, and let me tell you what, Nefarian has a distinct advantage over Ragnaros.
Because he's a dragon.
Because he's a dick. So I got Ragnaros 4 times in a row, and I got creamed the first 3, finally won one, and was like, that's great! Apparently, I'm only going to ever play as Ragnaros, so I think I'm done with this mode too. So I've hit all my Hearthstone goals. And so I don't think I'm going to touch it till the end of the month.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I just don't touch it.
I mean, that's a solution.
Yeah. I didn't log in to check to see how many wins I actually did need. I probably need 100.
Nice.
Yeah. Kim, what about you? Have you done anything with Hearthstone? Are you, now that, I mean, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but now that you've been bitten, do you want that Hearthstone card mount?
Sure, but I haven't logged in for probably, how many expansions are out now? There was a thing that came out, and then before that there was another thing. I think it was that thing. So, arachnidy spiders.
Next Ramus
Yeah,
one.
I'm really into it. You can tell. See how into it I am. I love that game. No idea.
That's a high five
yeah,
across the internet there.
Yeah, high five. Yeah, I'd like to, but it's been ages. See, the problem is logging into something else takes me away from the stuff I'm doing in WoW. Oh. That's the problem. I know some people can multiplay. I can't. I suck. So, no.
See,
it's
what
like,
you
focus,
call a problem, I call the solution.
Yeah, no. That's when I die. That's when I die in game, and then I die on a virtual card table. It's like, ugh, nasty. So, yeah, I just focus on one thing because it's easier, and that's just how I do it. Yeah.
Well, I just realized that could actually be extreme RPing. You know, you're out in the world doing something, playing the cards, and if you die in one, you just have to just stop playing completely in the other because you died.
Yeah, it's a fact. If you die in Hearthstone, you die in real life. And by real life, I mean the World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
That's right, because that's real life.
I'm not even kidding, the other day, I was playing Hearthstone on my phone while logged into Heroes of the Storm. And let me tell you, that will weird you out when people whisper you, because it pops up on both, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where I should reply.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And
that's
then
awesome.
I had a trolley guy try to friend invite me. Okay, so this was the weirdest thing I've ever encountered. So I got into a Hearthstone match. Through the entire match, the guy keeps spamming the thank you voice emote nonstop. And finally, I'm sick of it. Even though I have now muted him so I can't hear it, I'm just like, I'm sick of hearing his little, like, thank you, because he's playing a priest, so he keeps taking control of my minions. But he's not doing it just when he takes a minion. He's doing it all the time. And so I got annoyed. So this is how I deal with my frustration. I just started spamming good job over and over and letting the entire turn go until the last possible second, and then I would make my move. And I did that for the last bit of the game. I just was like, all right, I control right along with you, buddy. Did that. As soon as the match is over, he friend invites me. It's like, a player you recently played with wants to be your friend. It's like, no! He was the worst!
Do you think maybe he recognized your name?
I don't know, but if he did, don't do that. I don't think he did.
It's like, oh my god, I got John. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No,
thank
if
you,
somebody
thank you,
recognized me,
thank you,
wouldn't be the option they would be picking.
Okay,
maybe
good point.
threaten.
That would be the beep 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 beep
Yeah.
beep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the weirdest thing I've ever run into in the game. But also that friend invite popped up on both, so I was like, deny on my phone, look up at Heroes. I got a friend invite. Oh, it's from that guy. I had to deny it there too.
He found me again.
Wow.
Oh, Kim, what about you? What have you been doing lately? I mean, other than avoiding death in Australia. No offense.
I've been eating Tim Tams. Red velvet Tim Tams. I was
Crikey.
gonna send them to you. Sorry, guys.
What? Red velvet?
Red velvet Tim Tams. Yep, they're like my new favorite forever. So sorry, guys.
I would send some. I would beg and plead and offer you anything. But here's the problem: we have just entered the season here in Arizona where you cannot send us Tim Tams. It will go poorly.
Yeah.
I know this from experience.
Yes.
I was sent Tim Tams in the summer, and I was super happy, and then I opened it up, and I was immediately
You gotta put them
sad.
straight in the fridge. They're nice from the fridge.
Yep.
You can still eat them from the fridge. Don't stick them in the freezer. They're a bit weird. But yeah, so I was having red velvet Tim Tams, and they were good. But what I've been doing is I've been doing some mount runs. So you know how some of the stuff I do in game, I collect things like pets and mounts. I know, shock horror. Achievements. I know, shock horror. So I've been doing mount runs, but I've had no luck. My RNG has just gone. It's like, it's just been shocking. So, yeah, I'm hoping my RNG is going to hit like big time next week. I feel it in my bones, like, my undead warlock bones. So yeah, it's gonna all of them.
I gotta say this, for a long stretch there, you were getting everything to the point where I'm like, Blizzard's done something, so I can go in and I can get stuff too. Nothing for a long time. I worked my backside off to get my 250 mounts, to get my Fellfire Hawk, which is so pretty. I love it. It's green and sparkly, and making you jealous, Ben. I'm sorry, but it's beautiful. Look, I just want the Blazing Drake that you get from Madness of Deathwing, so I can get the Emerald Drake. That is what I'm going for. That is what I really want. Just one mount.
Yeah. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
A dragon.
Sorry.
All right, it's about time the Spice Girls got properly represented on this show.
I know. I totally don't listen to them, but sorry, Ben, I couldn't help that. So Mount Runs has been fun because I've been doing, things like Ulduar, ICC, Throne of the Four Winds, and Dragon Soul, pretty muchly. And yeah, they're kind of the big ones. Timeless Proto Drake does not exist. Anyone that has that is a liar. I'm putting it out there because that does not exist.
I found
I'm going to tell you
once.
something that I just discovered from what you were saying,
Don't
Leeta.
tell me.
I just discovered something.
You've got what?
No. Mount Runs sounds like a shitty mountain. That's all. That's all I wanted to say. Please continue.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, John. Now I've got a really, really bad.
Well,
yes,
Leeta?
Shush Stone. I'm not talking to him either.
Leeta, I can confirm that the Time Lost
Yes.
Proto Drake's body exists because I found that once.
I found that once.
Yeah, it was just lying there. I'm
Sorry,
like,
twice. Twice in how many years? 6 years? Yeah, twice. I had about a month ago. I was just coming into the spot where the harpies are. The normal spawn spot, and I just turned up there, and NPC scanner went off, and I'm like, oh my god! And next thing, I saw it fall from the sky, because some guy had killed it, but it had fallen down the side of a mountain, and he couldn't loot it. Yeah. So I was like just glaring at the screen, like just wanting to. And it was Alliance, so it's not like I could go, oh, dude, do you need a hand? I'll put you on my 2-person mount and give you a hand or something. It was Alliance. I was like, nope, I'm going to go cry now. So, yeah. So that's been, that's something that I try for every week, but no luck. And then the other thing, I can't remember, was I doing the Need a Bigger Bag when I was last on? The Timeless Isle achievement?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so I've been working on this, since Timeless Isle came out. And there's a whole list of stuff that you've got to get. So I've got 3 things that I need, okay? So there's 2 rare spawns, which is Jakku and Osu, which they spawn up where the, what would you call them? The beefy dudes
walk the
around that you kill. Yes. So they spawn up there. They need to drop me something which I need to loot. And then the other thing is getting the pet from the monstrous spine claw. To get the monstrous spine claw, you need to kill ancient spine claws over and over and over and over and over and over and over until a monstrous spawns. Yeah, I probably spent about 4 to 6 hours this week to have 1 monstrous spawn. So, yeah, this RNG's been really, really cruel. Funny, haha, not, but yeah. So they're kind of like the some of the stuff that I work on, and then we run a warlock and a healers team. They're 2 separate teams. So with the the guys that I do most of my playing WoW with, we have a warlock team. They're all warlocks. We go into dungeons. We see if we can get through the dungeon just as warlocks. So no heals, no nothing. We've just got to make do with warlock spells and warlock abilities. And the other one is a healers team that we're all in heal spec. So I'm a pally in holy spec. And we go into the dungeons and again see if we can get through the dungeons purely as healers, but doing melee and all that kind of stuff and trying not to die to get to the end of it. And it's kind of crazy. The warlocks are at 69, nearly 70, and the healers are getting ready to hit level 50. So yeah, so that's been fun.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. But even more so, that when that warlock team walks into a dungeon, every single boss just says, curses.
Yeah, we did Botania
Botanica a couple of nights ago, which is like the first time I've been to Netherstorm in maybe, I don't know, 4 years, 3 years. It's been a long time. So that was kind of fun. But we had to fly because we had no flight pass. So we had to fly from Chartres all the way on 150% flying. Yeah, that took a while. But yeah, it was good fun, and there was only 3 of us. So at the moment, the fourth one is he's away at the moment. But there's been 3 of us doing it: Wingy, Asheo, and myself. And it's just crazy fun, and we managed to get through it. Some of the boss fights was a little tricky. I wouldn't say it's been a walk in the park, but it's something different. Yeah, so I like doing crazy things in game.
Yeah, that's actually seriously, that's really interesting and really cool. I might.
Yeah, so it's been fun, and then I blame Emmy Jade. So I was busy. I was mindlessly killing ancient spine claws one afternoon when I'd been sick during the week. I had a nasty yucky virus. And I'm sitting there, I'm killing, going along, because I have Leeta's area in Timeless Isle. Basically, don't come to Leeta's area on Timeless Isle while she's farming, because Leeta gets very cranky and goes, "Go away, leave me alone. This is my area."
That's as bad as it gets.
No, I know where I'm going to be tonight.
Okay, physically in game, I don't say anything. But there might be some curse words thrown to the screen.
I was gonna say you're pretty nice when you get angry and people take over your spot.
Please go away.
Yeah, but I'm always
Ben
nice.
and I have chased someone back into an instance before. So.
Yeah, no, I'm normally like, just go away, just leave my stuff alone. But yeah, so I'm mindlessly just killing stuff, and I get this whisper that says, "Come play heroes, come play heroes, come play heroes, come on, come on, come on." And I'm like, no, I'm sick. I don't know how to play it. I've only done training. I don't. Come play. So Emmy Jade is evil, I have decided, because I did go and play, and I got to play with Nevermore and Lank and Spree, and we did a team thing. And I have no idea what I was doing. Seriously, they're talking to me, and I'm just going, I don't know. I'm just mashing buttons. No idea what. Okay, yeah, no, don't know. Mash. Oh, we won! Yay! No idea. So, but it was fun.
Okay.
So
that's what's important. Is did you have fun? The other thing that's important. Who did you play?
I played, to start off with, I played that tanky thing. Tank?
Sergeant
the literal
Hammer.
tank, like Sergeant Hammer, the tank?
Yes. Okay. That was the first thing, because I had random, like I've had no characters. So I did random, and I got that one. And then the second game, I played Malfurion, so I had to heal.
He has a beard.
He was weird. But it was kind of cool. Apparently I did really well, and I didn't know what I was doing. And then the third time I played Brightwing, and again had no idea, but yeah, that was kind of cool. So
she's a small dragon.
Yeah, it's very, very cute. Different abilities that I took a bit to get used to, but that was fun. And then I went and bought one for me, so I'm playing Vala. So yeah, and I've got her to, I think, about level 6 or 8.
Nice.
Now I'm addicted.
It's a great game.
I'm like, it is. It's fun. Still have no idea what I'm doing.
I'm
but
just
it's fun.
I'm waiting for John's fun fact about Vala.
Okay. What's the fun fact?
Fun fact about Vala: she's a demon hunter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She hunts demons.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know what I do with her? The problem is I kind of go tank with her. So I go, meow, charge in, choo. Oh, she's, get out. So I might need to get some sort of tanky thing, because I kind of like running in and getting smashed and then running away.
I will recommend Johanna.
Okay, all right. I'll have to have a look.
If you want someone
Johanna.
who's a tank who you can run in and just kind of stand there for a while and like yawn, take a nap, do what you want, Johanna's pretty good for that.
Yeah, she's good at that.
Okay. All right. I'll have to have a look. So, yeah. But it's fun. So that's what I've been doing.
I haven't
Well.
been doing too much now that I think about it.
No?
Not really. Not since we did our show on Sunday, anyway. I played some Heroes. Having fun with that. That game is freaking awesome. I'm going to say that every week because that game is freaking awesome. Tons of fun. Get in with some
Look,
friends.
hold on. I want everyone to take a moment to appreciate how difficult it is to get Ben to like another game. This is a guy who played Final Fantasy whatever
11.
forever and didn't even really seem to like it that much at the time.
It was the people.
And I was like, come
And
on,
I got a
come
free
play WoW.
carbuncle.
It's fun. It's a fun game. He fought me forever. I had to buy him the game. I was like a crack dealer. I bought the game for him to get him to play it, and he got hooked. And now he's hooked on this. So getting Ben to go to another game and enjoy it, like, it is a difficult feat. It doesn't happen easily. He will occasionally branch out on his own, uncoaxed, like a horse with a gate left open. He might eventually wander off and try something else, but he will come back. So the fact that he is into Heroes on his own and way into it is a friggin' marvel.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
at the same time, I wouldn't exactly say I'm as into it as like our entire friend group.
Oh, I
Seeing as
know.
how I'm only like 21 or 22 now, but when I get to 30, we'll play draft mode. I promise. But it's funny that you say that though, John, because if you really think about it, what are, I would say, in the last 10 years, what are the games that I've played? WoW, Mass Effect,
Portal, that space game you got.
Yeah, it was fun, but I'm not saying that it was like the greatest thing in the world. I'm not constantly going back to. Hell, I just went back to Portal and played through it last week because that's a great game.
I know.
And I give Spider-Man as many chances as I can, and they all are horrible unless it's like Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube, PS2, or Xbox. That was a long time ago, folks. But I'll try games, but a lot of it comes down to the fact that I just don't have a lot of money. That being said, the Steam sale's been going on. I bought 2 games so far.
What'd you get?
Okay, so the first game I got was Lego Marvel Superheroes because I like Legos, I like Marvel stuff. And I played that a little bit. I think I mentioned it actually on the last episode where Mr. Fantastic, I still hate him as a character, just no matter where he is. But he turns into a teapot, and that's funny.
That's part of what makes him the worst.
That's true.
He's one step removed from form of water.
Yeah. By the way, Draven in the chat room, don't get Mass Effect on Steam because you can only get 1 and 2. Then you have to get the 3rd on Origin, and that's horrible. So
yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even recommend getting Mass Effect on the PC.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. I do not like the PC version. It forces mouse and keyboard. It is clearly not designed for mouse and keyboard. I would recommend picking it up on consoles if you have the opportunity. If you do not, it is passable on the PC. You can do it. It's just not ideal.
Yeah. That being said, since my last playthrough, I've been slowly. It hasn't even really gotten very far. I've been thinking about potential Mass Effect tattoos. I just love that game so much. That's something entirely different. Anyway, so back to Steam sale. John,
Yes.
you've known me for a long time.
I already know what you did, and I'm already worried for you.
There's a
Go ahead.
curse that's been
tell
upon me.
Tell everybody about your curse
Okay.
and what you did.
Yeah. Going back to when it was the first time that it was re-released on, I believe, the PS1. Final Fantasy IV has been something that has absolutely plagued me for years. Every single time I buy a copy, something happens to the point where I need to get rid of that and or everything else I own. And
I can attest to this.
you've seen it happen at least 3 times. At least
Yes.
3 times.
Yes,
In
he's
fact-
not kidding. Every time he has purchased this game, almost immediately, if not shortly after, something happens that forces Ben into financial hardship, and he ends up getting rid of the game in that process.
Yes. So, guess what came on sale on Steam?
So now we wait for the other shoe to drop.
I bought Final Fantasy IV on Steam. It's $5. I haven't installed it. So in theory, if I
Doesn't
never
make sense.
play it, I might not die.
Okay.
We'll see what
It's
happens.
optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping this time I actually, broke it because, this is financially, this is the best place I've ever been. Okay, and Ro in the chat room said the same thing that Kefis said, which was Steam has a refund policy now. So I could just completely take it back and not even care.
But honestly, that's actually keeping in line with the curse, because the point is you want the game, but you always have to get rid of it, among other things, typically.
Yeah.
The idea is that see, before the refund was available, you would have had that game no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter how rough everything got. I mean, short of selling your PC, but still technically it would follow you on the Steam account. You would have had that game. There is now an option that can take that game away from you again.
Yeah.
So the curse is holding true so far.
So what I need to do is play it for 2 hours and 1 minute, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Lock that in.
Okay. I might do that this weekend at some point then. Maybe tonight. Who knows? We'll see.
There
I
you
should
go.
live stream my curse.
Yeah.
I'll name Cecil.
So, like,
after you.
literally, it'll be like an hour 58, hour 59,
Power
and then,
goes
like,
out.
the roof will collapse.
You know, the good thing is if you stream it, then you'll have a video of it. So in like 20 years' time, when some kid comes along and is like, oh, what's this? And all of a sudden, it's
Don't
going
do
to
it.
start like this whole, the ring thing, but you're going to have this Final Fantasy curse thing going on. So that's awesome. So yay for 20 years' time.
That could work then. That could work.
So, speaking of Final Fantasy, Ben,
Oh no.
I've been thinking about Final Fantasy a lot lately.
Well, first of all, tell everybody what your what about Final Fantasy is true about you.
I've never beaten a Final Fantasy.
Never.
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 Never. You want to talk about Final Fantasy related curses? Never beaten one. Closest I've ever been, Final Fantasy 3. I was on, because all Final Fantasies end with like fight 18 bosses in a row. I was up to that point, so it's the closest I've ever gotten. And I heard about some way to unlock a new job system in the game, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I want to make it. I want to unlock it. And it involved doing some sort of data transfer and all that, and I erased my save game. So I have been cursed. I have never beaten an official Final Fantasy game in my life. So I've been thinking about, on our very own YouTube page, that's youtube.com/AzerothRT, maybe streaming my attempt to finally beat a Final Fantasy game
Wow.
and chronicle the entire experience.
Wow.
So that might be coming. If that sounds like a thing you want to see there, find a way to tell me, and then that will encourage me to actually do it. If you don't want to
Just
see
do
it,
it.
don't tell me that you don't want to see it, because I don't care. But just stay quiet.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay.
Encourage silence.
Nice.
So, other than all these Steam games, had Raid last night. It was fun. Kinda. We went to a place that I absolutely hate. Absolutely hate it. I hate it. I hate that place. Heimal. I don't like it. It's boring as hell. I hate that place. The reason we're going is I'm calling it the Pokemon reason. We never beat Imperator. He's going to be nerfed on Tuesday. So what? We saved a lockout so we can go in and kill Imperator. Maybe. We hope. Just to collect them all. But it was my first time in there healing, and it was different, and I enjoyed that because I felt like I was doing more, and I wasn't arcane and absolutely hating every single second of it. And on top of that, I actually got an upgrade. That is how poor my gear is on my monk. So, woohoo!
I almost ran with you guys. I got on after you guys had been going for about 30 minutes, and I was about to just be like, hey guys, what's up? But nobody noticed me log in, and I hadn't said anything yet, and I realized where you guys were, and I was like, huh, and I just went quiet, and I was like, maybe they won't realize I logged on. So I just stayed in voice chat and I logged off WoW because I didn't want to go back to High Mall. I hate that place. It's the worst.
Yeah. In all honesty, I didn't see you on. And usually I have my Mumble set up right there, and I never saw you log in Mumble. Never even looked to see if you were there. Then when the raid was ending and we were going to go kill the wolf, you randomly showed up on WoW. I'm like, wow, that's like almost like he was listening the whole time and knew where we were. Oh, wait.
They did. I heard it all.
And I have nearly 600 pet charms for the new pets that come out on Tuesday. There we go. That's it.
I also like that in the chat I said that I don't like Final Fantasy X and you got blamed for it, Ben.
Thanks, John. Well, I'll put it this way. I liked Final Fantasy X enough to not grind and cheated getting the entire sphere grid filled out for everybody, as well as their legendary weapons.
That sounds complicated. I didn't make it that far in 10 because it was a garbage game for garbage people. But it could be worse. It could be Final Fantasy VII. Boom! I'm going to make everybody angry with my opinions on Final Fantasy.
So I take it you're not going to be playing Final Fantasy VII when it comes out on PS4.
The remake? Okay, hold on. Let's talk about the Final Fantasy VII remake for a second. Because let me tell you what, all you people who are very excited about Final Fantasy VII remake, get ready to control your excitement. Because that game is not going to be what you think it is. First of all, I'll guarantee you right here and now, you heard it from me first, that game is not going to be a one-for-one remake of the entirety of Final Fantasy VII. Games are too expensive to make. There's no way they're going to pour in enough resources and time and effort to do it. Second, you know what's weird? They showed less footage of this official, actual Final Fantasy VII remake than they did the fake Final Fantasy VII thing that got everybody hyped up on this to begin with. Which is also weird. But I'm just going to tell you, everybody, I'm happy for you. I hope that game comes out. I hope it's everything that you want it to be. I genuinely do, because I know you guys care about that game. And all joking aside, even though I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy VII fan in the world, I hope it's everything you want it to be. But I don't see a universe where they make the game you want it to be. I hope they do. I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely do. But I don't think it's going to happen.
And I'm being blamed for your rant now.
I hope that this can be the new trend. Every time I say something controversial, they just get mad at you about it.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Just blame the dingo.
Let's see. And Svensson's excited for Shenmue 3. You know, I will say everything that John said, but here's the thing. I want those games to be good for the people who want them. I was a huge fan of 7. I like 8 more because it's a better game, but I was a huge fan of 7. That being said, it's still a JRPG from the 90s.
Like, yeah, just everybody, I hope you're all, I hope you all get what you want. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also preparing myself for the explosion that is going to occur when they do not remake that entire game.
Yeah, but
when it's like the greatest hits of 7.
At least it's not going to be just an up-resed version. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. They could just be like, Final Fantasy VII, up-res for PC.
Which I did buy that from Steam 2 Steam sales ago, so
Me too.
actually own
7 could be the one I try to beat first. It could be the first Final Fantasy I ever beat. I don't think it will be. I think I'm going to go with 8.
Well, John.
Because I want to play a good game.
Let's go ahead and move on to the news.
Don't worry, loves. Cavalry's here.
For ire. Stay a while and listen. Drink. Hellstream. Blizzard News.
So news happened. Yay! A lot of news. Woohoo! If you have a character that you really like their name of, but you haven't logged in since I don't know, December of 2010 or something, log into that character because Tuesday, that name is going to be up for grabs for anyone who wants it. Which means that this is when I go and try to get my mage's name on every server. Because you know what? Someone hasn't been playing.
That's a good idea. Compulsive, but I will totally do that.
That is an idea. That's something that you can do.
We'll see how many Eoses I can get. Eos is taken all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Very popular name. Not sure why. Probably because it's only 4 letters. I mean, she is the best rogue turned monk.
Ever.
Turned kind of monkish rogue ever. So...
Nice.
I can understand why people want to emulate. It's just, it's weird.
Yeah. Leeta, I know that you've been incredibly creative lately in making character names.
Yeah.
Random spellings of Leeta. I am very impressed. I gotta say that.
Hey, look, if you've got a formula, stick with it. So pretty muchly every single, and I counted out my characters on my main account today. I have 42 characters. This concerns me because I'm like, how did I get 42? Anyway, yeah, and most of them have a different form of leader spelling. I've probably got 4 that aren't. So that's interesting.
Yeah, and seriously, really creative with those names. I'm actually really hoping that the name that I want on Earthen Ring gets opened because while I like my shaman, I don't like that I had to misspell his name. So we're going to see what happens with that.
What's the name you want? Please say it out loud publicly for everybody to hear.
It is Lightning Dude. I'd spell it Lightning Dud.
Remember when I had a shaman called Thrundar or Thundar?
Yes. I almost took that name, by the way.
Did you really?
I was this close. Seriously so close, because it's such a great name. Thrundar, the Everlasting!
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's Mumra, but, close enough.
Yeah.
So
I also
Leeta,
had Breg. I'm going to see if I can get Breg back. That's a good orc name. I've said it out loud now, so I won't, but I'm okay. I've already made my peace that I'm not going to get any of these names back. But Breg was an awesome orc name, mostly because at the time I always just yelled it anytime I said it.
Just run into battle. Breg!
Breg!
Breg hit stuff.
We will never be Breg!
That's because I'm Breg.
Yeah, that's what he said at the beginning of the cinematic. I'm getting excited for WoW, all this WoW talk.
Yeah, so let's move on to Heroes News.
Good transition, Ben.
I know. Kim, now that you are a new disciple of, as John would say, the Church of Tassadar,
Yeah.
I would say, Heroes of the Storm. Have you seen any of the new stuff that's coming?
No.
Oh, John.
No idea.
I'll let you tell her all about it.
Well, I braved what was possibly the most boring press conference of E3 and the most boring press conference of all time ever recorded in the history of forever. And
Nice.
For sitting through the almost 3-hour PC gaming panel, I was rewarded by getting footage of the Skeleton King, King Leoric, being added to the game, which is what I expected to maybe see. We had kind of seen some key art for him as a character, and that's what I was expecting. But Blizzard did one better. They also showed off the monk in that very same video. So we got a reveal of both those characters coming to the game. Then they followed that with another video showing a lot of the new skin variations, and Tyrael's Charger is going to be a new mount in the game. We're getting Angelic Diablo. Actually, I think he's called Archangel Diablo.
He looks so cool.
He looks awesome. He looks fantastic. All of these things look great. Skeleton King Leoric looks nuts from what they said. So basically the idea is that he does not die. When you kill him, he becomes a wraith. He just keeps standing there. He doesn't even go back to base. He just keeps standing there. He can keep doing his moves. The damage he does speeds up his resurrection timer.
Ooh.
And then he just reappears where he was. So he can keep harassing you as a ghost, basically. He can't do any damage to you.
Cool.
He can't physically hurt you, but he just will bother the crap out of you. And then appear, and then you have to fight him. So I'm really excited. That sounds crazy. That sounds nuts. He has kind of a quasi version of Tassidar's Wall as an ultimate, where he creates like a narrow little hallway that traps you. And yesterday, I think it was Gorath who suggested if we combine him and Tassadar, we can create a complete box and just make a little tiny arena where two people fight in the middle of it by putting the wall at the end of the box. And I think that sounds fantastic. So I'm really excited for both those heroes. The monk is still further away. He's going to be the first Diablo universe support in the game. His first talent is actually him picking his trait. So that's kind of cool too. So you kind of pick at the beginning if you want to be a traditional support, more defensive, or more attack focused. So it's very, very cool stuff. So excited for heroes.
That's really neat. Very, very cool.
Cool.
But that wasn't the only thing they announced there.
What else did they announce, John?
Then they talked about a little StarCraft.
A little StarCraft?
Now, I know, Ben, that you don't play a lot of StarCraft.
I have played some of Wings of Liberty.
Me too. Well, guess what?
What?
They are going to be releasing some prologue missions for free that basically covers some of the story of Zeratul. I think what he was up to during Brood War Heart of the Swarm.
Oh.
It's 4 missions to kind of show what he's been up to. If you pre-order the new expansion, you will get those prologue missions early. If you do not, you will still get them for free. So Blizzard's going to give you free single-player StarCraft content, and that's exciting, unless you're Erlina, who's probably fallen asleep because we talked about StarCraft.
And John, you know how much of a StarCraft player I am. I have the, collector's edition right here. I've also got the Wings of Liberty over there too. So it's I'm a huge StarCraft player because they give me pets in WoW. So
I also need to beat the single player campaign of Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet. It's really good, but I haven't done it yet.
That's what I hear, and that's one of the things that it is on my list of stuff to play. And add to my list of games from 10 years, Diablo 3 and Reaper of Souls. I have played through those once.
Okay.
Once.
So there you go.
So
you're getting
they're
there.
fun.
I didn't know you played through Reaper of Souls.
Oh yeah. When I finished, I was like, "Really? That's the end?"
Yeah, the ending's really, really awful, but that's cool. That's cool that you played that. Let me ask you, did you have a more fun experience with Diablo 3 playing the Reaper Souls portion than you did the original?
It was kind of more of the same.
Okay.
I know, because
they made a lot of upgrades, but I know you didn't play a lot, so I'm not sure how much you experienced.
Yeah. I know, and that's one of those things. By the way, people, yes, we did lose Leeta from the call, and that's why the video's all wonky. Don't worry, I'll fix it in a minute.
Oh my gosh, it's a nightmare.
I know! But anyways, so, yeah, that's one of the things that I'm actually looking forward to more StarCraft. I'm actually going to get in there and play the game, and we'll see what happens with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's all for Blizzard news, unless you have more.
Surprisingly, I don't. Other than you can actually now get that Hearthstone card mount in Heroes, but I think we kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, we did. My journey for that, which was a nightmare. But I got it.
Which is good.
Yeah. I don't know if... Here's going to be the sad moment, is when I realize I'm not going to use it for anybody.
Yeah, and in all honesty, that's why I'm not exactly going in to try to get that as hard as I can. But I will say the thing that is neat is that the different skin like color variations are actually completely different cards.
Yeah,
and that part is cool. I like that.
Maybe one day, Ben.
One day.
You never know.
Yeah, I do know. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and hit the bumper really quick and see if Leeta comes back by the end of it. So let's see what we can do.
You have until the end of this bumper, Leeta.
Shut it!
Round table.
And she's not back yet.
Crap. If only we had a really long bumper we could use.
Okay, that's it. I gotta find it. Hold on.
Oh no, I just gave him permission.
Yes, you did. You did.
I'm sorry.
My favorite bumper.
What's happening in Azeroth? What's the point of the dragon aspects? Seriously, Calgos, what's the point? I want ice cream! And now, entering the rain, Gary, the wash, house scream. I want ice cream! My favorite thing is when night elves dance on the mailbox. I want ice cream.
The kitty table.
And she's still not back yet, so you know what? We are going to take a break.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want us to be like super quiet for a minute so you know when in the show this is? So
No,
you
I just stopped recording.
Oh. Well, that's one option.
Yeah, it's easier that way. Just don't let me forget to actually start recording again, because then it's going to be a really short show.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, welcome to the round table. Dude.
Then we get Miss Mulgra, and then we get Hunts the Wind. And then we get other stuff. Add to group call. I'm really happy that people stopped trying to hang up stuff next to you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, me too. That was considerate of them. I will continue to listen to my TV at a mild to moderate volume.
All right.
Welcome
back,
respect
Leeta.
for them.
Hello.
Hello.
That was weird.
I just keep pretending that you are the little kid and Skype is the kangaroo.
Yeah, it is today.
It's
That
a
was the weirdest
recreation
thing.
of what happened.
I know. It came up saying some weird OT can't log in because the O/I thing was. I'm going, what? I'm like, really? Okay. It's bizarre. But anyway, I'm back.
Welcome back. So now we can do this.
Yes.
Welcome to the Roundtable, where we discuss in-depth the issues that mean the most to us, the players. This week's Roundtable topic is all about strong internet connections.
Are you recording?
Yes, I am.
Good.
Just kidding. It's about challenges. One of the reasons why I wanted Leeta in here is because, first of all, she's my friend, and she's awesome, and I like it when she's on the show. Secondly, she's been doing some really cool stuff. I've been seeing it posted on Twitter, and I want to hear all about it because I'm actually really interested in, maybe with none of the free time that I actually have, starting and doing this. So, Leeta, what have you been doing? Because now, this may be a polarizing statement, but some people are having a hard time finding stuff to do in WoW. What have you done to combat that?
Okay. All right. So I don't get bored in WoW. I must admit, I'm probably one of the rare few that seems to. I've always got something going. And part of that is, I do try and do these crazy things. So the guys that I happen to spend most of my time playing WoW with at night time, and we do the warlocks and we do the healers and we do all sorts of things. Well, one of my co-hosts from Control Alt WoW has been doing a lot of Iron Man and Bloodthirsty stuff over I don't know, she's been doing it for ages. So Rogue Slayer finally kind of got into my head, and I was like, you know what, I might try something, and I might put it to the boys, and we'll do this as, we can't do it together, but we'll do it as something that, you know, that we're going to do together, but not together, because you can't group up, okay? So what we did is I put to them and said, there's this Bloodthirsty challenge. How about we give this a go? And they went, okay. It was as easy as that, really. And away we went. So one of the things that I'm doing, and hang on, I'll just put the link in the chat room.
Nope, I got it. I'll pull it up really quick.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
So wowchallenges.com is where the new Iron Man Bloodthirsty pacifist information is all now, okay? But previously it used to be called the old Iron Man Challenge. Now, originally, and I couldn't find any of my screenshots, only because I've got like 50 million screenshots, but the screenshots going back a couple of years ago, I actually started doing an Iron Man challenge probably about 3 years ago. And I started an undead warlock, and I got her to level 36, and I fell off Hillsbrad, one of the mountains in Hillsbrad, and died. And
that's so sad. Such a tragic end.
I cried. I will fully admit, the first time in my life, I sat there and I cried over the death of my character. And I stripped her down. I deleted her as soon as I'd stripped her down, vended everything, and sent the money off to one of my alts and deleted her. And I made another, and I tried another, but I just couldn't do it. So it's taken me, I've been a bit heartbroken over it, I think, subconsciously. That's why it's taken me probably about 3 years to get back into it. But WoW Challenges now they've got other different options as well. So what I thought we'd try is Bloodthirsty. So as you can see, if you have a look on their website, there's the information, the rules for Iron Man, Pacifist, and Bloodthirsty. Mm-hmm. Now for me, I said to the boys, let's try the Bloodthirsty. And I don't know, if you want to share the screenshots I've given you, that's fine. So we decided we'd make it on Oceanic because I'm Australian. Yeah, I know, shock horror. And latency for us is a little bit better than me playing on a US server. So we decided that we'd roll new tunes over on an Oceanic server. We decided we'd go Alliance, and we'd just give it a go and see what happens. And I made a shaman. So we made the rules for us. Now this is just the rules that the guys and I made. No warlocks, no hunters.
Yeah.
No pets.
So it was like, okay, the stuff that we normally play, because 60% plus of my tunes are warlocks, so I do have a few. Hunters is one of the easiest classes, they say, to play it. So we went, no hunters, no warlocks. We had to pick something different. So my original tune, I picked a Draenei Shaman. And I went, sweet, this will be good, we'll see how that goes. And I got up to level 16, and I was over in Darkshore. Hang on, sorry, I've got to think of Alliance zones. Because, so I was over at Darkshore. And I just logged in for the night. I was in Vent talking to Ash, and I was like, I'm at the flight path, and I'm like, just have a look around. What's down over here? And anyway, off I trot, and next thing I get charged by a stag. over the hill. I didn't even see it. It charged me like pew, and I was like, ah, and it was orange to me, and it stunned me, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't heal. I couldn't run, and I died. And that's my screenshot. So this was my very first attempt at Bloodthirsty, level 16, dead. So, yeah. But that was interesting because I haven't played Shaman in ages. So it was kind of fun because you can't pick the things with these things is there's the only gear you can have is white or gray. Okay, so you can't have any green stuff, any blue, any purples, none of that. It's only white or gray gear. No class specialization, no talents, no glyphs. Okay, so it's stripped right down to basic. Now, with the Bloodthirsty, you don't quest, basically. Okay, so there are requirements that allow you that you can do so many quests up until level 10 and then 3 quests per level beyond that. But I had decided right early on that I wasn't going to do any quests. I was just going to start off and away I went. And I did that. I think I did 2 quests when I first logged into my character. And then from there I went, nah, we're just going to kill stuff. I'm just going to be killing and looting. That's it. Killing and looting. And that was really, it was a little bit harder than I thought because I kind of was like, I'd really like a quest now. So when I got to about level 13, I went, you know what? I'll just pick just one quest. Just one quest, okay?
You're an
I'm
addict.
allowed 3 per level.
You're an addict.
I'll pick one. Just one. Yeah. I just, it's just one. Okay, I'll pick 2. Just 2 quests. And so I did 2 quests for that level and then the next and the next. So I just kept it within 2 and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And I chose quests that would give me like grinding stuff. So, go out and kill 50 million boars and bring me back 20,000 ears, that kind of thing. So what I was doing was looking at the quest and going, okay, that one's going to give me karate XP. So, I'm not doing that. Ooh, this one wants me to go grind through this. So that looks okay. Oh, I'm going to get 1,600 XP. Ooh, at level 16. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll go do that. So that's what I ended up doing until I got stagnated. That's what I call it. Stagnated by the stag in Darkshore, deaded.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
And this is going to sound like I'm being condescending, and I'm not.
Oh, John,
because
please,
I
nice.
Genuinely, so I have heard a little bit here and there about the Iron Man challenges and stuff like that. I've heard it mentioned on other podcasts and stuff like that. And usually I'm picking it up kind of in the middle, people who've done it for a while, people who've been participating. So they throw out little facts about it as if it's, just common knowledge, which maybe I didn't know and all of that. Hearing this talk of, not picking a class specialization, not doing quests, wearing only white gear, is this a fun thing to do?
It's a challenge. That's what it is, John. So the way that you look at what it is it's like this personal challenge because no one can do this. You can't do this in a group. You don't want to be going into dungeons. You can't group up with other people. You can't have any help. So this is purely a solo playing thing, which makes it like, can I do it? So my whole thought was, can I get a character, a tune from level 1 to level 100 just killing stuff, not having any spells except the basic spells, not having any gear, no heirlooms, nothing like that. Can't use potions, can't use elixirs. Can I do that? Well, first attempt, no, I can't because I lasted to level 16.
Hey, that's better than some.
Yeah, that's true. But the whole thing is that it's a whole personal challenge, and that for me was the intriguing thing, because you kind of take for granted, oh yeah, let me go into my heirloom tab and oh, I've just made a new warlock. Oh well, let me get all my cloth stuff and deck her out. Hang on, I'll start questing. Ding, ding, ding. Oh jeez, I'm level 10 already. That took me 5 minutes,
Right.
This is so much more different, that it's crazy. It's, for me, it's fun. It's a sadistic type of fun, but it's still fun nonetheless. But
Well, John,
it was something I wanted to try.
Think of it
as jokey.
as the Dark Souls version of WoW.
Don't try and throw Dark Souls in here,
No,
Ben.
I'm going to. It's a
no, but
different way of
I
playing.
do see what you mean, and I guess that's kind of what I was asking. Is for me, a lot of what I enjoy about WoW is the quests, the story, the flavor of the world. This actually sounds a lot like what they had to do in South Park. Mm-hmm. Which was a joke in South Park, as like look at the horrible way we have to play this game to win. So there's a part of me that when I heard it, I was like, is this a prank to make people do something awful? But like, I guess what I was really getting at, the essence of the question outside the jokey nature of it, was for you, does the challenge of the experience and the added danger and all of that make up for maybe the stuff that the game loses by not participating in those activities?
For me, I find that it's an interesting alternate to one, playing the game, for as long as I've been playing it, so pretty much from day dot. I've always played my warlocks being my main. I've had, I've done the gear, I've done the raiding, I've seen the game change, and to come to something that strips it right down to such an utter bare bones, basically, to just say, hey, look, can I do it? Is this something that I can do? Who knows? So I decided, after my chamois bit the dust, I decided I was like, damn it, suck it up, princess. Let's go back to it. And I made a dwarf pally. So I gave it probably about 15 minutes of, oh my God, I just died to a stag, and crying in Van 2, damn it, let's do this again. So the next I made was, I thought, well, okay, hang on, let's pick something that I can have some better Healy stuff. That was my thought. Pally. It wears plate eventually, so at the moment she's in mail. I thought, this could be the way to go. So at the moment I've got her to level 14. So she's my bloodthirsty. Okay. And it's slow going. I will admit that for me. I'm not a fast leveler anyway. I never have been, but it's just watching what I'm doing, looking over the little rises in Lochmoden and just going, is there anything big and scary that's going to kill me like the stag does? No, okay, run away. And yeah, so for me, I thought the bloodthirsty would be a good thing to do. However, the other things that you've got is Iron Man. So Iron Man essentially is the same thing, but you're questing, okay? So you can pick as many as you want in quests. It's not grindy that way. You're fine to pick your quest, but you have to be very careful. So I went, okay, I'll make a human warlock. Why not? And for me, knowing the warlock class pretty much inside and out, because I've been playing a warlock for years, it's like, okay, this should be okay. I get I get a demon, I'll get voidy, that'll be fine. And I'll tell you of my complete and utter mental moment the other night when I reached level 12. So I'm running around Westfall, and this is stuff that sometimes you just don't realize. You commit to these things and then all of a sudden you go, wow, that was a really bad idea. And I'm running around Westfall and I'm thinking, and I just was saying to the guys in van, I'm like, yeah, oh, ding, went level 12. Yeah, I can't wait till I get my MLA and my flag. I feel like I've got everything ready. I'm like this, and then all of a sudden I've gone, oh, damn it. I don't get MLA, I don't get conflag, because guess what? That's a class specialization. I can't pick that because I'm not allowed to go destruction. So I have, for my warlock, at level 15, she has got instant cast corruption and a 2.5 second shadow bolt. That's it. I just got fear. That's it. That's all she has. And I'm like, oh, she's okay. That was really probably not the best idea to have picked a warlock for my Iron Man turn. So I went, you know what, bugger this, I'm making a hunter. So I went horde side and I rolled an orc hunter, and hunters can run and shoot at the same time. Warlocks can't. We have to stop. And, 2.5 second cast. Hang on. Yeah, okay, let it go now.
Run away again.
I know. And I was like, chasing. Stop it. Damn it. Just, okay, corruption. Die on corruption. That's fine. With the hunter, I get steady shot. I get arcane shot. I've got concussive shot. And I can do all of this while I'm running and moving and running away. And I have a boar that charges. And she's already hit, I can't remember, 14, 12, 14, something. And yeah, Hunters is so far is the way to go. So it's been pretty muchly kind of a bit of crazy. I have not tried the pacifist. That's where pacifist is
no
quest, no killing. So basically you can only level through
well, from the rules, you can quest as long as it doesn't involve any killing. So like fetch quests,
you can do
or
quests,
delivery quests,
but no killing. And a lot of people do skills. They can have professions for pacifists, but you can't have professions for bloodthirsty or for Iron Man unless it is first aid. That is the only thing that you're allowed to have with those. Okay. Yeah. So no pet battles. Ben kills me. It kills me. I'm running around.
Ben.
It's rough.
I know.
I'm like, pet.
It's like, rare pet.
I just want to touch it. I was like, no, you're not allowed. You can join a guild too. That was the good thing, because all guilds are now based as all the same, and they ripped all the good stuff out. Being in a guild is fine. So we created our own guild over on Deathrimmer, and I've got a guild, both Horde and Alliance, because that's where we've based the tunes over there. But no talents, no specs, no glyphs for any of this stuff. It is crazy. It's kind of crazy fun. And with my Iron Man, it is really thinking, because I picked up some quests in Duratar. I can't remember what it's called, but you know where the thunder lizards are under the water? Do you remember that quest?
Oh, yeah.
And you've got to hook up the line, and then there's Fizz, and you've got to get Fizz's orb. And it gives you a buff. So if you get a buff with doing a quest, you're okay, but you can't have other buffs on you. Alrighty. So I went to make a coffee. I picked up the quest. Probably not the best thing to do. I need a coffee. Went and made a coffee. came back and went, oh, I've only got 2 minutes left on that. Oh, well, I'll just go over and see. And then hopped in the water and went, yeah, this is not a good idea because I might drown. So I decided, no, abandon that. I'm not going to even try and jinx myself with trying to do that. And I know I could have dropped the quest and retaken it up, but I just had a bad feeling about those 2 quests. I was like, yeah, no, I think we'll do something else. So I've taken her over to Mulgore, and she's in Bloodhoof Village at the moment picking up some quests. So, yeah. So that's what I've been doing. And I'll tell you what, it's interesting to see. And as much as I haven't got a huge level, I'm running 5 different. I'm running 3 Iron Man and 2 Bloodthirsty at the moment.
Just one at a time.
Crazy.
Just, got a level, switch to someone else.
I know.
Keep it safe.
And it's a bit of fun with everything else I do. I'm quite enjoying the challenge of it. So yeah. So any other questions about it?
Well, one thing that I want to point out, Stone in the chat room, who he's the current person who's running the WildChallenges.com website, did say that it adds a whole lot more danger to the world than currently there is, because you are so limited. And from your description of leveling and everything, it makes me think of Final Fantasy XI, which I played a whole ton of, because the only way to level in that was to kill crap. At least, the Bloodthirsty challenge does. I probably wouldn't do that because I had enough of that in that game. But like the Iron Man challenge, it sounds really interesting to me. And ever since we heard about it, John, what was it? Back in Wrath, I think, was when the first person decided and declared, hey, this is what I'm doing, and then it kind of became a thing.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it as a thing and it getting, real big at a point, and I kind of paid a little attention to it at the time and then just kind of swung away from it and was like, that's cool, you guys go do your fun thing. But I'm going to tell you, I'm tempted to do this.
It might
give you... try it, definitely.
I'm really tempted, because I will tell you, I've been having this desire to
play WoW?
Go back to my roots. No, not to play WoW. Don't be silly. To go back to my roots, play an MMO that's a little bit harder, a little bit more challenging. Because let's face it, WoW is not difficult. It gets difficult. You kind of have to find it to find where it gets difficult.
And you know what? The running around Durotar on foot, not using the heirloom bike, I'm not using any of that because as far as I'm concerned, I'll wait till level 20 to get my mount. It is old school. It's like, okay, watch where I'm running, what do I need to do? Because if something charges, well, oh my gosh, I need to run. I've either got to run or when I was playing earlier when I was doing core, and because we play while we podcast, of course. And I was playing Iron Leeta, which is another one of my Iron tunes, which is in the core guild. And in between doing stuff, I'm like, hang on, I've got to hearth back because I'm in the middle of Durotar and I've got crocodiles on one side and I've got harpies on the other and I've got something else. I'm like, yeah, I can't stay right here. So trying to do Iron Man and podcast is a bit crazy, but it's kind of fun. So yeah, it gives you a new element. John, which one are you keen on? Iron Man, the questing?
I think I have to do Iron Man. If I cannot sit there and mindlessly just grind killing mobs. I don't think I am capable of doing. So here's what I'm looking for, and maybe I have to invent my own difficulty. This is the thing. It's not like when you do the Iron Man challenge, you're logging into an Iron Man server or anything like that. These are self-imposed rules that people come up with that you choose to follow. And maybe the challenge for me is going to be find the one that sounds best to me. Maybe ultimately, even though it won't qualify for Iron Man, maybe I want something where I can pick a specialization and actually take the abilities that come from a specialization, but I can't get, any gear above green or something like that, so that the game is more challenging at the very least. Because I think for me, that's what I'm looking for. Like, I kind of want to go through the leveling experience and the world and be challenged by the world, and I do like the idea of kind of giving yourself permadeath. Like, if I die, that's it, I got to start over. I think that kind of sounds cool too. So
admittedly, I didn't delete my shaman. It's my bank tune.
You lied!
She's so pretty. She's so cute. I was like, but she's still in Donasis in her white and no specialization, I think. So she's my bank tune. She's been relegated to that. But I mean, that's the whole thing, is making something that fits you, even if you modify this challenge for yourself, John. Well, it gives you something to work towards, and if that's, I know Stone, when I was talking to him last week on Behind the Avatar, they're thinking of doing other things. I can't remember what we were talking about, but I know that they're thinking of adding more things. Sorry, Stone, my brain's fried.
Listen to Behind the Avatar. Not only is it a great show, it clues you into new stuff coming.
Yes. So, I mean, there's heaps of things, but this, for me, John, this was the perfect, okay, this is the rules, this is what I want to follow. But if you take that for yourself and go, hey, look, I want to modify it, if that gets you interested back into the game and doing something that you're going to have some fun in, I say do it. Go for it. Let's pick a class and a race for you.
Rogue.
Can we do that?
Rogue. Yeah, rogue. Undead rogue, probably.
Okay.
Well,
all right, done.
Hold on. John, do you want to go with something like, because I know you love those quests. That's where you always go, always quest through. If you're doing this, do you want to branch out, go somewhere else, and be a little bit more of a challenge on it, though?
You mean like by picking a different race?
Yeah.
But I've done all of them so many times.
Even the Alliance ones?
I've done human. I'm not going to play a gnome.
I know you've done Draenor. Or Draenei.
I've done a little bit of... Yeah, I've done dwarf. I've done Draenei.
How long has it been since you've done a night elf?
I've did the night elf recently as well.
Oh. Well,
I've actually... Yeah. So here's a secret. I actually have tried to level a lot of Alliance tunes. Never pans out.
Maybe you need it to panda out.
Nope. Yeah, I'm into this idea. I kind of like the idea of a more challenging WoW, and at least just see how far I can get. Like, I'm still thinking of it from the perspective of, it sounds like a lot of time and effort to get to 100, but I think I'm really being perhaps overly optimistic about how I will do. So, it might be fun to go and, make it to level 10 and then die and go, well, that sucked.
Well, John,
I'll have to try again.
Stone mentioned in the chat room that on the website, there is actually a random tune generator. So you can just click it and then just see what it gives you and try it.
Okay, this says that I should be a night elf female druid. And it gave me professions, so I'm guessing that it actually doesn't want me to use those, though, because professions are not permitted. So a night elf female druid.
That's much better than what I got. I got a gnome death knight.
Ha!
I'm trying this again.
Male rogue.
Hold on, I'm going to keep clicking this until I get something I like. Undead male priest.
Monk.
Human Death Knight, Orc Monk, Dwarf Warrior, Gnome Warlock, Night Elf Druid, Blood Elf Priest, Troll Monk, Human Rogue, we're getting closer. Blood Elf Rogue, there we go. Random generator. Everybody, random generator.
Good job, John. Good job.
I mean, here's the thing. The reason I feel fairly certain I will play a rogue is because Rogue, there's actually a level of challenge with playing the Rogue. A lot of this is a nostalgia trip for me. You know, it's going back to a time where WoW was a little bit harder. That was a period of time when I was playing my Undead Rogue. So there's kind of a connection there. And I think that's probably why I would go with that. So...
yeah, do it. You know, and the other thing that I found, I mean, I know I'm playing 5 tunes. I've only got one that I actually added iron into, so it was Iron Leeta. Is the worry when you log into a tune and you sit there for 5 minutes looking, going, what are you? So... if it's easier, and this was something that Rogueslayer taught me, was actually it's not a bad idea to put either blood or iron or passy into your name. So the one that I went on Earthen Ring is Iron Leeta. So when I log in, I'm like, yeah, she's my iron tune. Whereas all my other leaders, I go, are you iron or are you blood? Okay. So if that helps you, John, just saying that's a tip that I am going to be utilizing from now on.
I'm kind of toying with this idea of, like, what if I did a version of it where I'm not allowed to maybe pick a spec, and so I do lose out on that benefit, but I can take 2 professions and I can equip anything I create.
That's a good way to do it.
I have to be the one to make it, so obviously I have to go out and, like, maybe with the exception of stuff you have to buy, like, you can't use the auction house to buy materials. You have to gather your own materials on your own.
Okay.
So it's kind of like surviving in the wilderness.
A blacksmith who is a warrior or a paladin.
Right. I mean, that's the idea, is you would have to pick something that, you know, you're going to benefit from to some degree. And, like, you couldn't use the I don't know. It's cool. I like this idea. I like the idea of giving yourself your own limited rule set. So I'm going to think about it. I'm not going to get to be on the cool list of people doing cool things if I do that, but that seems like a really neat idea.
John, I'll make a cool list of cool people doing cool things, and you can be on that list.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, you know what, Leeta, thank you very much for talking about that with us. Definitely check out the last episode of Behind the Avatar with Stone. And that website, again, is wowchallenges.com. So, you know, find all the different rules for everything. Check it out because it's interesting stuff. And if it's getting John to do it, that means there's something to it. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, there you go. Like, right now, Blizzard's having a hard time getting me to do anything. So huge congrats to everybody putting together the Iron Man challenge, because you're doing the Lord's work.
Definitely.
The Lord being Tassadar.
Just remember, rule number 1, John, do not die.
Well, I try not to do that every day in my life.
Yay!
Guys, I just hit random Undead Rogue. It's been determined. Undead Rogue.
Okay.
Perfect then. All right. Well, with that, we have a little feed. See, it's near the end of the show.
I forgot about the feedback. Yeah, we're going to need to talk about this for a little bit.
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking we should probably do the second one first, just really quick, and then dig into the first one. Don't you think?
Sounds good to me. I closed the document so that I could look at Iron Man challenges. So
well, in
now
that case,
I am getting to the email.